I'm going to begin this speech by asking you guys to describe what you see in this picture right over here. Raise your hands. Freckle. Anyone else? A mole. Cancer? Okay. Yeah, so what you guys are actually looking at is a form of cancer. Today I'm going to be speaking about malignant melanoma, some aspects within. The Skin Cancer Foundation statistics in 2019 stated in the past decade, the number of melanoma cases increased by 54%. The American Cancer Society also includes that melanoma is one of the most common cancers in young adults, and the risk just continues to increase as you age. So back in 2014, my dad was diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma. Before his diagnosis, I had no idea what melanoma was. I didn't even know it was a type of cancer. After hearing about his constant doctor's appointments and therapy he had to go through, I got a lot of real-life information about melanoma itself. My main 3 points will discuss an overview of melanoma, stages and treatments within melanoma, and its preventions. First, I'm going to give you guys an overview of melanoma. Roswell Park Cancer Center online database in 2019 explains that cancer develops when cells grow out of control. So when melanocytes grow out of control, you get melanoma skin cancer. So melanocytes are found in the epidermis of your skin, which is the top layer of your skin. Melanocytes' ultimate goal is to protect the further layers of your skin. You also see melanin, which is what gives your skin pigmentation, along with moles, their darker complexion. When clumped together, they make the darker colors of your moles and freckles. Melanoma can develop anywhere on the skin, commonly start on the chest and the back in men, and on the legs in women. You could also see it in the eyes, mouth, and also in organs. While some moles may appear to have certain characteristics of melanoma, it's only diagnosed once a dermapathologist confirms cancer cells are present within the skin cells. It is not clear exactly why some moles become cancerous, but it is clear that melanoma itself cannot be passed down through genes. Traits of melanoma can be passed down through genes, but not melanoma itself. Now that you guys have a general knowledge of melanoma, I'm going to talk about the stages within along with the treatments. The Skin Cancer Foundation in 2019 explains that depending on what stage of melanoma you have, along with multiple factors such as where it's located, can lead a doctor to recommend different treatment options. There are 5 stages to melanoma, beginning with stage 0, so that's the first one. In stage 0, the melanoma is situ, meaning it hasn't gone through the epidermis of the skin. Treatment for this stage often is just a surgery to remove the primary tumor along with the skin around it to make sure that cancer cells aren't present within the skin, just to make sure they removed all of it. So then we have stage 1, which is the second picture right there. In stage 1, the melanoma has gone past through the epidermis. It is 1 to 2 millimeters thick now. Treatment for this stage is similar to stage 0, besides a doctor might recommend an SLNB, which is a sentinel lymph node biopsy, just to make sure that the cancer hasn't spread to the lymph nodes. Next, we have stage 2. In stage 2, the cancer is up to 3 millimeters thick. Stage 2, the treatments are very similar to stage 1. Next, we have stage 3. Stage 3, the melanoma is sometimes no longer present where the primary tumor was found. In this stage, when it was diagnosed, it already has reached the lymph nodes. If it has reached the lymph nodes vessel, treatments include immunotherapy and chemotherapy along with the surgery. And then last, we have stage 4. In stage 4, the cancer has metastasized or spread to distant lymph nodes and organs when diagnosed. Because it is so specific to each case, this stage, there's so many treatment options. The doctor will obviously recommend what is best for the patient. Now that we have the basis of melanoma, along with the stages, we could talk about the prevention. Using prevention can be crucial to going against the 1 in 75 chance that we all have of developing melanoma in our lifetime. While the causes of melanoma are still ongoing with research, we know that there are certain types of skin that are more prone, or not skin, but like traits that are more prone to developing melanoma. Factors include fair skin, light or red colored hair, along with being more exposed to UV rays. Obviously, the exposure to the sun being the one that we could only prevent. Avoiding too much ultraviolet light, such as not using tanning beds, reapplying, applying sunscreen, can all reduce your chances of receiving melanoma. Another way to not necessarily prevent melanoma from forming, but rather finding it at its earliest stage, is using an examination to check all your moles on your body. So this is called the ABCDE examination. So this examination basically talks about benign moles, which are non-cancerous moles, compared to malignant moles. So A stands for asymmetry. If you were able to cut your moles in half, both sides should look the same in a benign mole, unlike as you see in the malignant mole. If you were to cut it in half, both sides differ. B stands for borders. The borders of benign melanoma are usually clear and profound, while in malignant moles, they're very blotchy. You can't really tell sometimes, like in that second picture, where the mole ends, where it starts. C is for colors. In malignant melanoma, colors vary, so you see darker shades of brown along with lighter shades of brown. Diameter, usually moles are no bigger than 1/4 of an inch, which is also the tip of your pencil eraser. And evolving, if you see a change in your mole over time, that could mean that the cancer cells are metastasizing, which could mean that there's malignant melanoma present. So as we discussed what melanoma is, the stage of melanoma, and how to prevent it, the Cancer Center Foundation stated that in the past decade, the number of melanoma cases diagnosed annually increased by 54%. Even though melanoma only accounts for a small percent of cases within skin cancer, it is still the quickest spreading and holds the majority of deaths within skin cancer specifically. It is also the most prevalent cancer among the younger generations, and the chances just continues to increase as you age. So next time you see a new or unusual mole similar to the one I showed you in the beginning, make sure to remember the ABCDE examination we talked about today and check a doctor just to be safe. Thank you.